This is your Seattle area housing market watch. Hey everyone, today is Thursday, August 7th. This is what's going on in the Seattle real estate market this week. Definitely big headlines in terms of the interest rate. We are at a low for the interest rates. Today, the 30-year fixed is at 6.55%. So this is the lowest the interest rate has been since about October of 2024. And so that's over 10 months ago. And so a lot of activity has been happening and a lot has been going on. Now, the primary reason that the rate has gone down is because there was a slowdown in job growth. Typically, if we see that, there could be signs of the economy struggling a little bit, and that can cause the interest rate to come down. The interest rate follows the 10-year yield, but that can cause people to think that there's a little bit of uncertainty in the economy. And so if you lower the interest rate, that could spur some more economic activity to help the economy. And so there is still a lot of uncertainty in the market, and that's part of why this rate has gone down. But we are seeing an increase in the number of mortgage applications, and rates have come down a little bit. If you have been waiting to buy, now might be a really good chance. If you've been listening at all for this report every single week, if you've been listening before, you know that I said that I think that we'll end the year probably around 6.5% on the 30-year fix, and that's because of everything that I read and hear. That's what they're saying in those reports. So right now we're at that rate. We're at 6.55%, and the 15-year fix is at 5.92%, so quite a lot lower. 30-year FHA and VA are at 6.12 and 6.13 respectively. So this is really good news, honestly, for buyers and for sellers in the market. And that's because buyers can afford more when this interest rate comes down, and sellers can sell at a higher price when this rate comes down. So that can be really good for both parties in this scenario. So if you are thinking about getting off of the sidelines and making a purchase or selling your home, let's connect and strategize about your ideal path and what your goals are so that we can make sure to get you the right guidance and the right strategy going forward. It's a free call. We do it when we start with any new client, and we talk through your goals and your strategy and what's going to be the most beneficial for you. So let's talk a little bit about the condo listings. This week we're down 5 new listings at 181 in the Seattle area. Pending listings are up 17 at 173, and then the sold listings are up 14 at 123. So a little bit of activity in the condo market. In July and August, we typically see things to start slowing down. As far as our team goes, we had one buyer get into contract last week. They were able to negotiate some credit on a single family home, and they had an inspection. This week, we may have a buyer making an offer on a brand new build and probably can negotiate on that price as well. So buyers, it is a perfect time because you have the interest rate coming down a little bit, but you also have that ability to negotiate, which can be really beneficial in a market like this if you've been waiting to do that. As far as residential homes, new listings were down 81 this week to 440. The pending listings were down 6 to 533, and then the sold listings were up 1 at 395. So interesting to see pending listings 533 far exceeds the number of new listings at 440. So this is definitely a sign that the new inventory on the market is slowing down from the spring, but we still see those buyers out there purchasing what has already been listed, because you would think if the number of new listings coming on is only 440, how does 533 go pending? Well, that's because there's existing listings that have been sitting on the market, and so those are getting bought up by the buyers in the market. So that can be a good sign as far as it goes for sellers, because you do see the inventory getting taken up or put under contract. Although last week I learned that this is the first time in 8 years since this data has been tracked that we've actually seen so many homes fall out of contract across the whole entire nation. So this is one of the highest times in the past 8 years that we've seen homes go pending or under contract and then go back on the market. And that's data that's tracked by Redfin. So that's an interesting stat to pay attention to as well. Like I said, if you're a buyer and you've been waiting to get off the sidelines and you want to chat about the right strategy, whether you're thinking about buying in 2 months or 2 years, it's really never too early to start that conversation and figure out your goals and figure out what makes the most sense for your strategy going into a market like this. And now might be the great time to do that because of those interest rates coming down, as well as the ability to negotiate. If you are a seller, thinking about the same, selling in the next 2 months or 2 years, reach out and let's have a strategy call about what you need to prepare, because it can often take months to get your home ready for the market the way that you might want it to be to optimize your return on investment. You can text or email us to set up a free consultation. And thanks for tuning in as always every week. We look forward to seeing you back here again next week. Thanks.